So there was a big leak.
Yes.
It leaked all of the starter evolutions, we think. And it leaked some other Pokemon that might be in the game. They look all right. I think that once they're actually revealed, they'll look a lot better. Because we kind of got like off-screen pictures of somebody's screen at like Game Freak, you know?
Yeah.
So they're not very flattering. But I think like a nice setup reveal will make them look a lot better and people will be more excited about it. We also got, there's like these like graphs floating around, or grids of all of the Pokemon that are going to be available in the game.
Yes.
There's one more thing that G Pimpio 1 just brought up. Mints. So there's natures, you know how there are natures in the game. Basically what they do is
I don't know what that is.
It's when it says your Pokemon's timid or docile or whatever. That determines what stat of your Pokemon is better or worse or just unaffected. You can change your nature with mints now. So like if you have a timid Pokemon that would be better if they were adamant, you can give them a mint to change that rather than breeding for another version of that Pokemon.
Oh, so it's just mood altering drugs.
Yes,
basically.
Exactly.
Okay.
Are the Pokemon gonna rip your face off and eat it like that monkey?
Are they basically bath salts? Is what we're
only in the wild area, you know? Anything can happen in the wild area where the wild things are, you know?
Yeah.
That's a boomer.
So there were that's a very boomer joke.
Yeah.
There were these leaks where people are like kind of just speculating what Pokemon are actually going to be in the game. Do you know, AJ, where they got this information from? Like how they know what Pokemon are not going to be in the game? Because to me, it seems like they're just looking at the leaks and being like, I don't see these guys, so they're not in the game.
Yeah, it's because of the leaks. And I didn't dive that deep into it because I kind of, like, at this point, usually I don't care if Pokemon Company's like, hey, here's the Pokemon are in the game. I'm not like, you're spoiling it for me or whatever, like I would be for Smash Brothers. I just go with the flow. But since they're not announcing it, I kind of just don't want to know, you know? So I'm not even going into that and looking at the leaks and stuff like that.
I haven't collected all of the... Well, no, that's not true. I just did it in Let's Go. But I don't think I've ever collected all of the Pokemon outside of the first generation.
Yeah, no. I never even collected all the Pokemon while I was playing first generation.
Really?
Yeah.
I did it multiple times for the first generation.
Yeah, back in the day when we played Red and Blue, I just got a whole bunch. I didn't have all 151. I just had the ones I liked.
Well, I think I used a Game Shark, though.
Probably, yeah.
I also cheated when in Let's Go. I was asking people to send me Pokemon, so...
I feel like it's going to be way easier than I would have expected a year ago to fill out the Pokedex now. That I can be like, hey, anybody got this 100 Pokemon that I need to fill out my decks? You know, just get tweets of people being like, I'll trade.
Tillplay says the leakers put out the entire Pokedex, but where do they get the information from? Because unless it comes straight from Nintendo or an official source,
I think it was from 4chan.
Because it could, first of all, it could just be made up.
Yeah.
It could be just a fake. It could be an unfinished build. Or there could be just straight up missing Pokemon from the decks because they're just not in it yet in that build.
Yeah.
Or maybe the guy whose build it is didn't get them all, you know? To me, it just seems like they're like, these Pokemon aren't in the leak, so they're just not in the game. And they're just taking it as official word. I would expect there to, because of this whole National Dex controversy, I would expect there to just be a couple of Pokemon that are missing, maybe like 100 max. But apparently from these leaks, people are saying that there's only 400 that are available to be put in the game.
Right.
I don't know about available in the game at all. Like, I don't know if all 400 are going to be in the wild.
From what I've saw of the list, and I don't want to like necessarily talk about what was and wasn't available because like that I guess is spoiler territory, but it said like any Pokemon that was in white is not in the game and any Pokemon that's in green is in the game, and it was like a 50-50 split, I would say, between what is and isn't going to be the game.
What's wild is I thought you were talking about the games. So because this is Pokemon, you said what's in white. I'm like, oh shoot, no
yeah.
Pokemon white.
Pokemon White, yeah. Pokemon White and Pokemon Green.
Yeah.
Anthony Heim says the leaker had a review copy. Nintendo already knows who it is.
Oh.
Dude. See, this is why they send less review copies to me, you know, beforehand.
So, if there's only 400 Pokemon in the game, or available in the game, maybe all those 400 Pokemon are able to be caught in the game. Maybe it's not that. Maybe that's why you can't bring other Pokemon from certain games. Maybe it's because they're just all in capturable in the game.
Yeah.
That's me giving them the benefit of the doubt. I think 400 is a lot. And if they're all capturable in the game, that is insane. But I don't know if
according to this quick Google search, there are 802 Pokemon in total. So yeah, that's like
that's not including Sword and Shield, though, I don't think.
Yeah, Masuda said that it's over 1,000 now, including Pokemon
so before Sword and Shield, yeah, like so 400. That's like half the Pokemon. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's got to be a really good reason for them to have such a limited dex compared to the previous games. Because I already gave them the benefit of the doubt. There's 1,000 freaking Pokemon.
Yeah,
you got to cut some of them at some point. But they cut more than half.
Yeah.
So
and they cut some surprising Pokemon.
Yeah, like well, I don't want to say what.
Yeah.
Some people don't want to hear any of the leaks, but there's a lot of Pokemon that's why I kind of don't believe it. Because like there's a lot of Pokemon that are super, super popular that should absolutely be in the game. And that might not be. So don't worry, Pikachu's in it. We already know that.
Hey man, I already know Charizard's in it, so the rest of them can go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just have a team of Charizards.
Yeah.
So I think once we get a hand of the game ourselves, we'll find out why there's a limited amount of Pokemon. I feel like we're gonna, once we get the game in our hands, we're gonna be like, oh, okay, I get it now. You know, or maybe we won't, and they'll just, you know, that's just the end of that.
Yeah.
Terra the Wise says the Game Freak said they have no plans for future DLC. Well, I don't think they're going to be Pokemon in a DLC. I don't think that's going to happen. But there's going to be like events and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like, well, we have a tournament that's coming up. Also, there's there's raids and stuff, and it's going to be an always ever evolving online game. So there's going to be updates and whatnot. I mean, I don't really trust Nintendo anymore with the online updates, but that's possible too. That the game will change a little bit. It might not be DLC, but it'll be updated. Sam Sindelar, doesn't Game Freak have high poly models for every Pokemon as an effort to future-proof themselves?
I'd imagine they have like something like that.
They had for Sun and Moon, they had like 1080p models, but apparently they made all new ones.
Yeah, so in Sun and Moon, the models were very high resolution.
Yeah.
For the 3DS is only 320p or something ridiculous.
Like that,
so it did not need to be that high resolution, but they were. If you upscaled it or from like in an emulator, the game looks really good. Sun and Moon. So yeah, I feel like they already had a lot of this stuff. And that's another thing. People are like, "Oh, the models don't look that great. They already model. We have these models already. The animations are reused from other games." People were mad about the Dynamaxing, because it's just the same models and same animations, just bigger. Yeah. But then you got Gigantamaxing, which is completely different stuff.
There's a lot going on in this game.
There's a lot going on. Yeah. So I think there's a reason for all of this. We're going to get the game, and we're going to... There's also... People are upset because apparently the game is just as big as... I think the article was... apparently, Sword and Shield is just as big and has just as much stuff as the other games.
He said,
which doesn't make much sense.
He said of comparable length to
Yes.
past Pokemon games, which varies. Because like, what does that mean that we're getting a Pokemon Gold? You know, like
Yeah.
it could be regions for all we
Also,
know. Like,
length is different from like size.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we know that there's at least 8 gyms.
Yeah.
And there's a wild area, which is completely new.
Yeah.
Not in any other Pokemon game. And there's sub gyms.
Oh yeah.
Like the in-between
Yeah,
gyms. So there's definitely more stuff than we've seen in other Pokemon games.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, of comparable length, how long do you think Pokemon Yellow is, Will?
20 hours.
The main story.
The main story is just 10 hours.
10 hours?
Yeah.
How long to beat has it clocked in at 28 hours?
Oh, I was close the first time.
And main plus extras is 42 and a half hours, and completionist is 80 hours.
Yeah.
Pokemon Yellow.
Yep.
And all of the starters are like that.
Yeah.
All the red and blue are like that. They're freaking long games.
Yeah.
The Pokemon games.
And those games don't even really have post-game stuff other than catching all the Pokemon.
Yeah. So that's main plus
everything
extras would be the
after
post game
all
stuff.
Yeah.
Game's long as hell. And I remember playing
Yeah.
it like a year, maybe a little over
Yeah.
a year ago, and it's freaking long as hell. And same thing with Let's Go, which is freaking just as long.
Yeah.
And everybody's always, oh, it doesn't take that long. Well, it's because you played it a million times. The first time you played it, it was probably around 30 hours.
Yeah.
MDB beats it every week. Could probably beat it in a couple hours. You
Yeah.
know? But these games are long. So I think 28 hours for a home console game is more than enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I hope Death Stranding is 8 because I don't want to play
Yeah.
that long.
I bet it isn't.
It definitely is not. I'm going to be walking for a long time.
Walking and peeing.
Guillermo says 1/3 of your Smash playtime, Bob, and that's when he gets banned. This Jew says, let's use the word duration. Savage Love 2424, thank you for the Twitch sub. Samson Lard, to be fair, the Game Boy games progressed way slower. Yeah, they
That's
were
true.
slow. They were slow games.
Those are very, very slow games.
But no, they're all like that. Even the newer ones are like that.
Like 30 hours, give or take. Mostly give. Because like when you're playing the game for the first time, you're like testing stuff out. You're swapping out teams. You're like, oh no, I don't like that Pokemon. I'm trading up a new one. You know, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whereas your fourth playthrough, you're like, I'm picking these 6 guys. I'm just leveling up my starter, and I'm going to, you know, like it's way easier. And even then, it's at least 20 hours.
Yeah.
All right, so that's all the Pokemon stuff. So I guessed that we were gonna get. I mean, we knew we were gonna get Terry.
Yeah.
This week, we knew that was gonna happen. I was expecting a Nintendo Direct this week, and then Pokemon news next week.
Yeah.
Instead of a Nintendo Direct, we got 45 minutes of Terry Bogard.
Hope you like Terry Bogard.
And we got a short little taste of Pokemon news.
Yeah.
There's still so much we need to know about this game when it comes out next week.
Yeah.
So do you think we're gonna get a Direct next week then? Right before Pokemon comes out? Maybe with some more Pokemon news?
I mean, if they're gonna release they have a week to do it.
We usually don't get that much Pokemon news in a Nintendo Direct though. It's usually the Pokemon company.
Right. It would,
At this
well, they do
point,
Pokemon Directs.
Yeah. At this point, I don't know if they want to announce anything else.
Yeah.
But the Pokemon Directs aren't
really seems like
directs.
they're trying to keep it
well,
on
like
direct- on
you
direct.
know what I mean. They have like Pokemon does their own like announcements.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. What were you saying, AJ?
I was saying I think that they're trying to keep the game mostly under wraps at this point. It just seems like they're not trying, because like even the announcements that they gave us, it's still like we're being drip fed. It seems like they're just trying to keep most of the game hidden until people play.
Well, that's the thing, is they can't keep it hidden next week. It's gonna be in people's hands.
Yeah.
People are gonna be breaking street date and stuff next week. You know, that's why I think next week we gotta get more Pokemon news ahead of the game coming out. You know, Freaking Death Stranding, the most under wraps game in the world. Review embargoes lifted a week early. What?
Yeah.
More than that. A little more than that.
Yeah, a little over a week.
So yeah, I'd expect some news next week.
Yeah.
But again, we could get maybe some stealth drops on their Twitter like tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's possible too. Maybe,
or even like right now, because Nintendo has just announced things like right like in the middle
maybe
of the
they'll
night.
drip feed some stuff, like, because the stuff they said today wasn't really that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Maybe we could get more stuff that's really not that big of a deal, like once a day until the game releases.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll have to see.
No, nothing.
But I'd be surprised if we don't get a Pokemon or a Nintendo Direct within the next week.
Yeah.
Because we usually get one in November.
From 5 hours ago, you'll now be able to access your Pokemon box almost anywhere, making changes to your team a breeze. There's also a new autosave option, so your game will save itself periodically.
Yeah, AJ mentioned that, but I don't think that's new news. I think we knew about that.
The autosave I know isn't new.
The autosave they talked about, I don't know if they talked about the box entirely. I think they mentioned something about being able to access it in the wild area.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever said anything about it being accessible anywhere.
Right.